and I'm here today to explain to you Doctor Who gives a... But it looks like Mrs. Doctor has been playing with the board again. Oh my god! I'm regenerating! Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Yes! Dr. Az returns tomorrow as Dr. Az explains Doctor Who. Bit meta, but there you go. Look, you've been asking for it for a long time now. Unlike fandoms of today, I'm actually going to give you what you want. So, little teaser to whet your appetite. Does not necessarily represent finished product. Okay, so with that said, we've got a lot to get through in this video. A lot is kind of happening, and I know there's been an awful lot of Doctor Who recently, but things are just at the moment, particularly after that horrendous series finale. So forgive, I'll try and vary things up as best I can with other videos hither and dither, but this might be the focus for the next few days or so. With that said, the consolidated numbers are in for episode 9, which was the episode before the finale, and it comes in at a final figure of 4.85 million. Not good. Third week in a row that it's pulled in less than 5 million. Nearly a 2 million deficit between episode 1 and episode 9, which is absolutely unbelievable if you think about it. And not only that, the finale just pulled in 70,000 more in the overnights than the penultimate episode. So if the same theme of approximately 1.1 million in consolidated numbers came through, it would mean we're maybe looking at 4.9 million consolidated for the final episode, which would be 4 sub 5 millions in a row. Absolutely horrendous, and would clearly display people's dissatisfaction. Well, we're going to get to that actually in a moment, but even if it is slightly bumped, there may be a morbid curiosity by people just to see how bad this episode was. But if I were you, and you have that little bit of curiosity, don't even touch it. Don't even go there. It is just a dreadful, awful, terrible episode that destroys the franchise so that Chibs can get his little black baby girl doctor. And I'm going to go into that as well. So let's jump on to the next piece. People actively turned away from Doctor Who. They watched Country File before it, turned Doctor Who off, and then watched Antiques Roadshow after it. So both Country File and Antiques Roadshow had better viewing figures than Doctor Who, which meant there was a distinct turning off of Doctor Who. So this is from Comic Book News. Doctor Who ratings: over 600,000 viewers avoid season finale in droves. Sunday's episode of Doctor Who, The Timeless Child, saw 3.78 million viewers tune in, but what was especially troublesome, could have gone problematic for a moment there, for the BBC is the fact that the shows preceding Doctor Who and following both had a higher amount of viewers, all in the same range. Prior to Doctor Who, Country File saw 4.44 million viewers, and following Doctor Who saw Antiques Roadshow with 4.41 million viewers. So those two are virtually identical. So 600,000 people just went, no. And then tuned back in afterwards. We even see other shows. Likewise, the remaining shows for the night saw similar amounts of viewers. Last Tango in Halifax, 4.17 million viewers. ITV's McDonald and Dodds, 4.38 million viewers. These are terrestrial TV channels. And the 10 o'clock news, 4.48. So people actively turned off Doctor Who. But don't worry, editorially, it's in the best hands it's ever been, folks. The bestest hands. Chibs and Whittaker are back for another season, yo. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Bradley Whittaker and Tosin Cole have both quit as companions of Doctor Who. We knew about Tosin Cole because he's lined himself up a role in an HBO series in America. How? I've got no idea. I've no idea. His acting on Doctor Who has just been nothing short of horrific. Absolutely horrific. Bradley Walsh himself has cited that it's just too grueling a schedule. He's 59. He's nearly 60. He says it's 8 months of the year. It's a lot for him, and it's too much. He's got other stuff going on as well. Look, I don't blame him. I'm not wanting to put words into Bradley Walsh's mouth. I'm not saying that he is leaving for other reasons. But I can't imagine that he'd be getting too much satisfaction from his character. Because his character doesn't have one. He's literally just comic relief, says stupid lines, and has people point and giggle. But it's not even funny, so it doesn't even work. And Bradley Walsh himself is a very funny man. If you've ever tuned into his quiz shows, he's so quick-witted, he's so charming, he's a really nice guy, or comes across at least, as a really, really nice guy. And it's just such a shame that we've had this waste of talent, because he is talented, exceptionally talented, on the show. So I can't blame him. Both of them will be leaving at the Christmas special. How? Look, who cares, really, to be honest with you. But that leaves the Doctor and Yaz. No. Oh, my goodness me. Unless they decide to add to the fam. It's me fam. I can't think of anything worse. I really can't. I don't think I'm going to tune into next season. I know you're going to ask me to hate watch it, but I don't even think I can. If it's just Whittaker and Yaz, no, not a chance. But they may add to the cast. They've not shown particular, what's the word I'm looking for? Faith, maybe. That's one. Particular faith in Whittaker to actually carry the show, because they've surrounded her with these buffoons. And like I said, one of the reasons that I had an issue with the show is nobody feels special. Nobody feels special. The companions are surplus to requirement, and the Doctor doesn't feel like the Doctor. Anywho, let them be. Let them to it. Don't care. And then, this is one that I wanted to get to because I find this one particularly interesting. Because it's the Radio Times. Now, the Radio Times and the BBC have a very special relationship. The BBC used to own Radio Times. It was actually started by the BBC in 1927-ish. And maybe 24 even. I don't know. Around about there. And up until 2011, it was run by the BBC. You know, it was their own magazine. And then it was sold off in 2011. And then 2017, the parent company who sold it to a subsidiary took the whole thing. Something along those lines. So even though it's not owned by the BBC anymore, they still have a special relationship with the BBC, of course. But even the Radio Times could only give the finale 2 stars, which I think is personally a little bit generous. But what they say is absolutely true. And I read the article, and props to Patrick Malkin for actually not shilling out and just giving what I believe to be a God's honest opinion about what he actually saw. Not because I myself hated the show and therefore I was like, yay, he did. No, it was just nice to see, because once upon a time we used to come to these, when I say not necessarily the Radio Times, because it was, obviously bias, but we used to come to publications, we used to go to websites, IGNs and places like that, and you would be going there because you wanted a truthful opinion about something. Maybe the IGN thing is a little bit too recent, but I could be going back to Edge Magazine, Games TM, stuff like that, where people will just tell you, should you buy this game, should you not buy this game, and they'd give you reasons why. I wasn't opening up a Games Magazine and having somebody screech at me about why Barrett's black voice was too black. Okay, so Doctor Who, The Timeless Child review, the much vaulted finale, an overblown gush of nonsense. Chris Chibnall simultaneously reveals and withholds so much about the Doctor's origins, and the guff about The Timeless Child does not make for gripping television. Now, you may have heard what I've said about The Timeless Child, and I keep referring to the all Chibs wanted was his little black baby girl doctor. And the reason why I'm very animated about that particularly is it because I'm a massive racist? Of course it is. No. It's because this is a clear virtue signal. And the reason why you can say that, and that does get me angry, because I think it sets things back so much. Let me pose a question for you. How many lines did the young baby girl get? None. How many lines did the slightly grown-up version of her get? None. How many lines did the Asian girl that she regenerated into get? None. How many lines did the white girl that she regenerated to after that get? None. How many lines did the Asian boy get that she regenerated into after that? None. Then there was the white boy. Then it regenerated into a black boy. How many lines did that black boy get? None. Then it regenerated into an Asian girl of Indian or Pakistani descent by the looks of it. How many lines did they get? None. How many lines did the surrogate mother get? None. Do you see my point? If he truly cared, if he truly wanted to set up something, and I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with trying to evolve a series, but I prefer going forward than going back, because retroactively is lazy, very, very lazy. But if you truly cared, why wasn't there any development between the surrogate mother and the child? Because he just wanted a colour, an agenda. Why wasn't there any relationship after the child had died and regenerated, and we had the knowledge of regeneration, and the woman now, the dynamic between the child and the surrogate mother changing dramatically because now she wanted to find the secret of regeneration? And don't tell me there wasn't time, because this finale was full of so much fluff shit. It was boring beyond compare for the vast majority of it. They had time. But Chibs just wanted a colour and just wanted a gender. That's all he wanted. He wasn't interested in actually making characters. He was interested in showing off trophies because he's a fake, like the vast majority of them are. They signal and they signal and they don't care about the actual people. And that's where I believe everything falls apart. And that's where I believe you judge people based off them. Not the colour, not the gender, not the sexuality. You base it on who they are as a person. And so because Chibs didn't do any of that, and he didn't flesh out the mother, who was killing the child over and over and over again, And yet, they painted her as a pioneer of science. The guy is mental. That is how much of a virtue signal they got to. They didn't even address the fact she was murdering the child over and over and over and over and over and over and over to unlock the secrets of regeneration. Because Chibs was only interested in putting a colour and a gender on there so he could erase 57 years of history. And this, folks, is modern day BBC. And this, folks, is modern day journalists in varieties of fandoms. This is the people who are running the Star Warses and stuff like that. This is their ideology. And it's rotten to the core because it's built on a bed of lies. This is why you should always judge people by people. And the thing is, though, the beauty of meritocracy, the beauty about bringing these people in based off merit, is meritocracy is fair. Meritocracy doesn't discriminate because meritocracy is based off your skill and based off your work and aptitude. It's not based off your gender, your skin colour, or your sexuality, like they have all these things in place now. But they daren't conform to the meritocracy, because if they did that, they'd have to get rid of a lot of people. So this is why I was so frustrated and angry about what Chibs had done, because I think it's insincere. I think it's grotesque. So you have to ask yourself, what value did they bring to the show? And the answer is none. No value whatsoever. They just brought the same value that the person that wrote them put into them, which was nothing. That's the kind of person that we're dealing with. Somebody who didn't want to flesh it out, somebody who just wanted to put it on show and then have everyone around him clap, and we're back to stunning and brave. Right, I think I've waffled on for long enough now, particularly after we had started off with such a giggle with the trailer. Maybe, I hope so. Or maybe there's a bit of faces like, I don't know. So there we go, folks. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.